wrapped up and leave.
Tell me what's love, tell me what really love gotta do about it. You ain't ghost, we ain't talked in a while. I remember days when I couldn't live without you. Now I'm making a reason to dance with your demons, trying to help you out, but you always leave.
It's Brei, Endia, 808 Tavern, on the road, USA 2020 pandemic tour. Definitely introducing all types of USA artists and entrepreneurs. I come across somebody, y'all know everything I'm doing is last minute, pulling off the tricks with people that are willing to actually go for showing you all that they are pursuing their dreams and their goals full time, full speed. And I have an artist that I would like to introduce to you all, as well as his jewel.
Hi everybody, how you doing? My name is DOXX, and this is my lovely lady Shannon right here.
So today, as we've been doing, it's the I Am Who segment of the show. This is the intro to people more than just what they are doing in their artistic abilities and their creativity, but who they are. So because we're starting off with who you are, introduce us with who you are, not what you do just yet. So even if it's a couple of words, a couple of sentences, I am who are you?
I am KiDD. You know, I'm just a young African-American man just trying to make it, man. Just trying to make my dreams a reality.
So what would you say defines your characteristics?
What defines my characteristics? I'm somebody who's just fun, loving guy who just wants to, you know, be that beacon for somebody else to be like, hey, you know, this is possible for me to be able to do this.
And what is a motivator for that, behind everything going on in the world? I know for me, I don't let the world, you know, I call it outside noise when all of these things are going on, you know. So how do you view that, being an artist right now with the industry being kind of quiet and things kind of taking a very drastic shift? What are your goals and plans to elevate yourself continually, even though there are some hindrances right now?
It just gotta create. I mean, as cliche as that sounds, man, you just have to create. As artists, you know, we reflect the times. You know, even though right now it's just everything just seems like it's like in disarray right now. To be that beacon and be like, hey, you know what, like things are bad right now, but this is what we can do. This is how we can flip this negative situation and make it into a positive.
That's so true. So allow you to speak as well. I know you said you're not an artist, but you're supporting an artist. So that is something that, you know, isn't necessarily always the easiest, but it depends on your mind frame. So introduce us with who you are and how you contribute to his entrepreneur ventures and everything.
Well, I'm Shannon Loudon. I'm from Sacramento. I try my best to give him his time to just do his music and have his own space and to create, and always just support him with everything, even if it might be something crazy. Like, okay, like let's do it. You know, always just have an open mind, especially when you're with an artist. So it's
true.
A fun journey.
I like to hear that. Okay, and how do you balance out? So you don't have any children or anything? Okay, so that at least kind of leaves you with a little bit more space than typical artists. So how do you establish things for yourself when it comes to, you know, planning? Because are you managing yourself or?
Yes.
Okay, so because you're managing yourself, that kind of leaves you in the independent bracket, which is always great.
Yeah.
So what kind of things have you already achieved as far as, you know, your goals and successes that you've done so far on your list? And then we'll kind of move over into what you do.
Got you. So what I've achieved already, I had like on my list like a set of like acts that I wanted to open up for. Perform with one of those being Scarface from Houston legend. Opened up for him, opened up for Neff the Pharaoh. He's somebody that's out here. And just haven't done these shows, and also I performed at South by Southwest. That was like something I was like,
okay, congratulations.
I was like, thank you. That was something that was big, like that was on my list. But yeah, just what I had so far was just getting out and just performing more. And then I had a couple things lined up for before the pandemic happened. Before the pandemic happened, I had a couple of shows, a couple of block parties like lined up, but unfortunately the pandemic happened. But as of late, yeah.
How are you taking advantage of that though? I mean, I know it's like a discouraging thing that the pandemic is kind of like putting like a halt on things.
Yeah.
But I've become to the realization like, okay, this actually gives a lot of people the time to really kind of sit and let the things that they were planning marinate a little and even perfect it even more.
Yes.
So how are you taking advantage of this time right now to plan even more, maybe add on some things to what you were planning to do?
So as of right now, I turned my business into an actual LLC. So that was one thing that that I took advantage of. And then also just, like you said, just sit down with my plans and marinating on, just be like, hey, like, is this a good idea to take this to this spot or to do this with this one? And just been creating more. Honestly, that's
Constant.
yeah. Like now I have more time to be like, all right, I'm at home now, so what are we gonna do?
Right.
And just create more.
So to give to, you know, the community of people, not even just, I mean, because there's a lot of artists that are before us who, of course, we always recognize and give our respects to, but then there's our generation, and there's the generation that is behind us, and you know, everybody has their own point of view when it comes to the respect of the industry and the people who've already kind of kicked the door down and gave themselves the go ahead, like you're doing right now, to set your foundation and to make yourself known. So what kind of advice would you give somebody if they were you know, because as you evolve, there may be somebody one day that kind of reaches out to you and wants to know, like, if you can give them tips and wants to know if you can kind of tell them, you know, something to make them feel encouraged or motivated to do this. So what would you say if that were to happen, or just now, what would you say to people kind of?
I would say my one piece of advice would be to bet on yourself. I know you probably hear that a lot. It's probably run down and it's probably like super cliche, but it's the truth. Like nobody else is going to do this for you. Nobody else is going to give you the leeway to be like, hey, all right, this is what you want to do. Go ahead and do it. You have to put that time in for yourself. You have to be like, all right, you know what? I believe in myself to the point to where this is what I want to do. I'm gonna do it. And like when you do that, it opens up so many doors. A lot of people are gonna see, because if you don't believe in yourself, how do you bet somebody else to?
That's a fact.
And when people see that you have like this undeniable drive for what you want to do, it's contagious. It makes them want to be like, hey, what do you got going on over there? Oh, this is what you do. This is what you do. All right, I'm behind you. I'm supporting you. So I would say like, yeah, like definitely bet on yourself. Definitely believe in yourself.
And when it comes to, okay, so you said you do acting and you do music.
Yes.
So is there any other outside or opposing interest that you have, like, you know, for somebody who, say, is an entrepreneur that likes to cook, but he also wants to do music? How would you, you know, speak on, I don't know if you have those particular things, but kind of thinking outside of the box, do you think that that's something that someone can balance? And if you were in that predicament where there was another trade that you were interested in, how would you maneuver in that? With, like, you know, keeping that job, would you get that, or would you drop what you're doing? Would you try to balance it out? What kind of person are you when it comes to your ambitions and multitasking potentially?
See, and that's a tricky question too, because it's almost like the term of like a jack of all trades but like master of none. So it's like, for me, I would try to balance it out. I look at it as, okay, like, let me see what I can get from cooking, and let me see what I can get like from fucking music, or try to like entangle them both. Like if you have like a IG page, you know, you can post like your meals up there, also have your music playing in the background. People look at your food, be like, man, that looks good.
Right.
Also, what's that song playing in the background? You know,
True.
and then just kind of plug yourself. I would try to do it that way. I would try to see like how I can gain from both of these aspects rather than trying to focus on solely like the cooking or solely on the music.
Or separating them, you would try to find a way to
yes,
that's smart,
find a way to
so that you can become the master in them
exactly.
both. I mean, back to what you do, because this is an intro to you. So we don't know how everything is going with the pandemic, but I kind of view it as a sneaky way to kind of still do your thing and get a lot more ears and eyes, because there's a lot more people who are kind of sitting still and looking at the industry, you know, looking at music, looking at all types of industries, looking for work and different things like that, and people who can recruit for things, you know. So where do you plan to see yourself for next year? And what are the goals that you have in place? What do you want to share though? Because you don't have to share everything. I know as an artist, sometimes you got some juicy stuff that you're like, wait, they don't even know about that. But you know, at least you know what things do you have kind of lined up in the time being.
Yes.
And things you're orchestrating personally, since there's not a lot of outside resources that you can depend on. What kind of things are you setting up right now to be able to?
Gotcha. Well, as of right now, I know like with everything going on, everything's shut down. But as of right now, I am working on like getting like lined up a couple shows, like getting back and performing is definitely like my number one goal. I do have a couple projects that I am planning on releasing, and just full-fledged coming out the gate, just getting out there, videos, all of that.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Are you still doing videos? Are you still in the studio? Okay, yeah. Because that's the thing, like, although it's like TV and stuff like that, it's not saying that these things are happening.
Yeah.
As an artist, you know how to make a way to book a studio session.
Exactly.
How to book a videographer,
Exactly.
you know, because
Exactly.
that's constant moving pieces. So, what project in particular right now is your special, like, you know, is near and dear, and right now that you would say, so that, you know, and then give ways to reach out to you if there is any booking information, and, you know, I'll post it as well, but at least let them know the spelling, all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
The best way to contact you though. And,
so as far as project, I would say my most recent one that I released, Year of the Capricorn. You can find that on Apple Music, Spotify. I would say that project is like special to me because of the fact that it's kind of like me coming into who I am. You know, it's me defining who I am. It's me saying like, yo, I'm KiDD. I'm here to stay. I'm trying to establish myself. Like, this is my body of work. And then to reach me, you can reach me on Instagram, DOXX Music, DOXX MUSIC. You can reach me on Facebook if you guys do use Facebook like that. It's the same. I have a website, same thing, DOXX Music, DOXXMUSIC.com. You can reach me there. As far as booking, it's KiDD, KIDD.DOXX@yahoo.com. So yeah, that's the way that you can reach me.
good. So before we close out, one of the biggest questions I ask: do you have alternatives that you do, and do you have pretty much like backups, things that you're gonna do if, you know, a family is starting and you kind of have to kind of shift to something stable while still working on your craft? What are you doing right now or having in the back burner that you know is something that you can always bounce back on if needed for emergencies or whatever it may be?
Gotcha. So what a lot of people don't know is I graduated with my bachelor's in audio engineering. So that's kind of like my backup plan, is to be an audio engineer for music, television, movies, video games. So just to, that way I have like a foot in the entertainment industry, whether it's like not being an artist, but in still some way, shape, or form, I'm still doing entertainment.
Your productions is always
Yeah,
doing, so.
exactly. So that's like my fallback plan, just in case acting or music don't work out. But that is last resort.
Okay, that's good. That means that you're going hard for what it is that you know is priority.
Yeah.
So, for me, is there any questions that you would ask me or that you have for me or anything like that?
I mean, just as far as like how has it been for you, like traveling, doing this on the road, especially like during the time we're in right now?
Yeah, with it being a pandemic, I actually looked at it as an opportunity to do this. First of all, the roads aren't as busy in all the states. And because I came from the Southway, it's like I really wanted to get the experience of exploring the USA for myself. And I've always wanted to come to California. That was always a thing. And I was like, driving would be best. Now, don't get me wrong, them flights was like maybe $30 to $40 last month. But I was like, I'm going to drive and touch as many states in the USA as I can. I like to, you know, kind of pick artists and see where they are, where they're going, you know, and just seeing the new wave of people coming out, because
Gotcha.
like I said, I have some great people in the industry that I love seeing, But as I get older, I'm like, okay, when are the new faces going to really start emerging and popping out and being, showing that they're the new influence for the wave of children that'll come out? You know, I want children one day, so I'm looking at it like, who are going to be their influencers? Who are going to be the ones that they're like, oh, that's, you know, that's DOXX right there, or whoever, you know? Like, I want to be able to have the opportunity to take this time to interview and introduce you to the world in my way. And then you're introducing yourself. But this is just me connecting and networking to do the same. And I look at this as a way of giving back. I like to be able to network with others. This has always been a passion, like just entertainment, music. I write, I do music, I do all that. I was interested in acting and all that.
Yeah.
My parents was like, no. So for a long time, I didn't even have the motivation to try this. But then I realized going into 2020, it just naturally happens. So I would rather take advantage of actually doing it and orchestrating it in a way that allows people to actually see it on my platforms and things like that, you know? I really want people to hear the new music, the new talent, and other types of mind frames when it comes to the music. And do you write your own music?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big thing. You see what I'm saying? So like, that's a thing that I'm looking into, and as well as the acting, because I write a lot. One day I want to be able to turn those things into movies. So, you know, I just look at it like I'm one of those people that is a doer, a planner, but I also execute. So it's like, you know, because of that, I'm like, one day when the team is built, it's going to be me needing to have more than just the team. It's going to be a lot of moving components too and stuff.
Gotcha.
It's always good to meet people who are already, you know, building their brand, building their self, their name, and being able to connect while you're on the move. Because, you know, after the day, you might be, look, I ain't got time to sit with you and do the interview. So, you know, while this pandemic, I've been taking advantage of the opportunity to meet with people who are moving and grooving in their craft and really establishing themselves. So that's what I've been doing.
That is dope. Yeah. That is amazing. That is amazing.
So I appreciate y'all coming out. If you have any projects that you would like to kind of mention, anything else, you can. Any last word?
Well, you know, shameless plug. A couple of weeks ago, I did release a song called "What Is Love Part 2." As well, you can find that on Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon Music for you weird users out there. Yeah, so go like that, add it to your playlist, stream it up. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you guys are gonna love it because I love it. So yeah, there you go.
There it goes. All right. And one more thing. What is your target audience?
My target audience, I would say, starts at 16. Ends probably like at 29, 30-ish.
Okay. And are you more, what's your genre?
My genre, it's solely hip hop, but I do like blend into the R&B category a little bit. I got the little vocal chops, just a little bit.
Okay. And now we kind of know a little bit about this great artist, and I hope you all see that it doesn't matter where you go. Talent, sometimes it's hidden, sometimes it's where you just are not. But with social media, it's endless opportunities to learn more about the talent that is out here. I hope you all enjoyed this session, and I appreciate you giving me the time to meet with you here. Out the spur, on the road, but you know, I'm on my way back home, but I met with this, you're the first one on the way back, so.
Oh man, that's really dope. That's dope.
Yep. Brei, Endia, 808 Tavern.
Kid DOXX.
Shannon Loudon. Bye.
Down on my luck, never get a boy a hand, but trust me, it's all love when I finally make it here. Do this for my fam, trust me, we don't need no help. 10 toes down, never changing up, I swear. Down on my luck, never get a boy a hand, but trust me, it's all love when I finally make it here. Trust me, it's all love. Life's too short for me to waste on you niggas, I don't hold a grudge.